In this pencast, we're going to be learning about piecewise functions. So the first problem says, sketch the graph of f of x equals x minus 2 for x is less than or equal to 0, and x squared for x is greater than 0. Alright, so let's call this part A. Let's draw our axes here for this graph. Alright. Okay, and this is our y-axis, and this is our x-axis. Alright, and we'll just say this is going by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. Alright, so let's start with the x minus 2. X minus 2 for x is less than or equal to 0. So let's look at the domain. So we know that this is for x is less than or equal to 0. So that means it starts at 0 and goes to the left. So that's what we're going to do when we make our table here of values. We're going to start at 0. And we're going to go to the left. So at 0, the function value is negative 2. At negative 1, the function value is negative 3. And at negative 2, the function value is negative 4. Alright, so let's plot these points. So we have 0, negative 2, that's right here. And then 1, negative 3. And 2, negative 4. So when we connect our line, we're going to only go to the left, because we know that to the right we have a different function. Alright, so to the right we have x squared when x is greater than 0. So the only thing that's special about this one is that it doesn't actually include 0, because it doesn't have the or equals to sign under there. So that means that 0 is not going to be included in our function, but we should still start at 0. So let's do 0, 1, and 2. So 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, and 2 squared is 4. Alright, so let's plot 1, 1, and 2, 4 first. Alright, so there's something special about 0, 0. That function, or that point is not actually included in the function, so we mark it with what we call an open circle, like that. So then we connect all of those points, and that function is going to continue to the right only. Alright. So that's the graph for part A. For part B, it says, write the function for the graph. So I've helped you out by identifying a few points on this graph for you already. So we have, on the first line, we have negative 3, 0, and 0, comma 2. On the second line, we have 0, comma, negative 1, and 2, comma, negative 3. Alright, so let's start with the line that's going to the left first. So we want to write this, we know it's linear, so we know that's y equals mx plus b form, right? So we need to find the slope by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's plug in those points, and we're going to get 2 minus 0 over 0 minus a negative 3. Okay. And that's because our points are 0, 2 and negative 3, 0. So when we simplify that, that's going to become 2 over a positive 3, or 2/3. Alright, so now we have y equals 2/3 x plus b. So b is the y-intercept, and we can see that b is equal to 2 right here because of the point 0, 2. Alright, so now we have our equation y equals 2/3 x plus 2. And what's the domain for that? So it's going to the left and it starts at 0, right? So it's going to be x is less than or equal to 0, because 0 is actually included in that line. Alright, so for the second line, the one going to the right, we have 2 points that are 0, negative 1, and 2, negative 3. So for this one, our slope is going to be negative 1 minus a negative 3 over 0 minus 2. That's the same as negative 1 plus 3 over negative 2, which is the same as negative 1. Alright, so now we have y equals negative 1x plus b. And again, the y-intercept is located on the graph, 0, negative 1, so b is equal to negative 1 because of the point 0, negative 1. So for that equation, we have y equals negative 1x minus 1. Alright, and we know that the domain for that is x is greater than 0, because we have that open circle on 0, negative 1, which means it's not included. So the total function right here is going to be, let's see here, 2/3 x plus 2 for x is less than or equal to 0, and negative x minus 1 for x is greater than 0.